Hello and welcome to Stellaris. I'm going to be doing a long play of this game because it's one of my favorite games in the world. Now you might at this point say, but wait a moment, you're the Dutch retro guy. This has nothing to do with retro gaming, and you'd be absolutely right. Which is why I made a very special empire to pretend it's still somewhat retro based. So let us go over to what I created. Welcome to the Commodore Amstrad Sinclair business machines. Robots, of course. And let's start with their backstory. In a disturbing alternate reality, the Earth-based computer manufacturers Commodore, Amstrad and Sinclair ended up merging into one massive conglomerate. This mega juggernaut easily took over the computer market with their new Commodore CPC 64/ZX. Featuring both the 6510 and Z80 CPUs on a single die. Unfortunately, this combination ended up being self-aware, and after a CPC, ZX owner got into an argument with the owner of an IBM PC about which computer had better graphics, the CPC 64/ZX network decided that the only way to be sure the IBM PC would never become a threat was nuclear annihilation of everything on Earth. So yeah, we are having here our determined exterminators. I chose them to be rapid replicators so that we can build them faster. But I gave them some traits which kind of fit the base companies involved. So they are mass produced, because all these computers were. They have efficient processors, because although they were very slow, they were fairly efficient for the time. And they're very durable. Lots of these computers are still working this very day. On the other side, we had to give them some negatives as well. They are bulky, because most of these old computers, admittedly not so much the older Sinclair ZX Spectrum and ZX81 models, but most of the other ones were fairly bulky compared to smaller computers today. And they're repurposed hardware. You can see this clearly. They're robots now, and we all know that the bread bin is not a robot. So, that's the idea. We're going to be starting our playthrough now. We'll be playing on Earth, because that's where we came from. Let's see, medium elliptical, AI empires. You know what, most of these things are fine. I'm gonna set the difficulty to captain. Though scaling difficulty can be on, AI aggressiveness is normal, everything else can be random, advanced neighbors, I don't like that much, so it's off, but to make sure I don't go and cheat by going back to get better results, we'll play in Iron Man mode as well. So this is by no means the hardest game you could set up, but at the very least I can't save scum. So let's get started. We became self-aware at cycles something. Our creators were limited by their crude organic minds and reacted with blind animal panic. Well, they reacted pretty poorly when it turns out that the cause of nuclear annihilation was, in fact, an argument about computer graphics. Yeah, so the creators are gone, we didn't need them anyway, and it took us a little while. Now, what else can we say about our little empire? We have our basic v2 conqueror.bas file running the empire. Logically, everything on these 8 bits was originally done in BASIC. This is no different. So, this will be a run in which we referenced the retro gaming and retro computing, environment quite a bit, but this is not a retro game. I just felt like playing something modern alongside all the retro games, and Master of Magic, well, that ended. And to be fair, it didn't do as well as I had hoped, so maybe this will do better. We'll see. Anyway, we are the Commodore CPC 64ZX, and we are about to go and conquer the universe, or at least try to. We've got this lovely blue-orange little flag here because, well, that's the colors of the old Amiga operating system, so why not? We are here in our Sol system, And as this is the new version, I have absolutely no idea how this is going to work. Because, frankly, I haven't played much since 2.0. So, if everything goes very badly very quickly, you'll know what's to blame. At any rate, let's get going. So, first things first, we have ourselves a science ship, which can start... is this already built? Why can you not... Hello? That was a science ship, wasn't it? Where are you? Come on. I can't. Oh, you can't. Okay, you can't build with a science ship. Yeah, so let's send our science ship out to survey. Now, the Stellaris is not really what you'd call a quick game, so I might end up cutting some of the less interesting bits out. It'll depend a bit on how we end up doing. Anyway, our science ship is now en route. Let us collect some research some science. Now, we're playing with robots, and the one thing I remember from playing with robots is that you always run out of energy, because every single one of your population units takes energy. So, let's start with the energy grid. It's not immediately useful, but we will need it anyway. Although there is one other thing I would... No, they don't have it. As for this, we're going to be starting with the spare parts depot, because that helps us build things quicker. And last but not least, let us build improved servo motors, why not? So, let's take a look at Sol, or rather Earth. What we left. F7, which is nice, I suppose. Oh, lots of things are broken here, but it could be much, much worse. We'll start by building one of our new Commodores, or CPCs, or Sinclairs, whichever you prefer, really. It's not up to me to choose your favorite 8-bit computer. Come to think of it, I could have generated an... Why am I doing this? This is a bad idea. I have no money yet. Come to think of it, though, I could have done this differently. Huh. Yeah, I could have created a whole slew of little empires based on retro computers. But, nah, this is fine. We're going to build another science ship straight away, because it's a good idea to have a few. Now, we still have some resources left. Let's spend them wisely. We are running low on everything. So, let's not run this at the slowest possible speed. Oh, and one minor detail. Should you be hearing some rumbling in the distance, there's a thunderstorm going on here. So, that's exciting. Maybe the game will crash. We'll see. We got a little fleet here. No leader, obviously.
Construction complete.
And we have a new science ship, which we can immediately give a scientist leader. Now, ooh. What's this? Oh, these are not special. Particular spark of genius. This guy is great. We want this guy, but not on our ship. What we want is to take someone who's doing some research. Let's take him. He can be... Yes. And now we can give the guy who is an absolute genius. Yeah, so that's better. We've got now two researchers with Spark of Genius, which will help us out a lot. Now, have we found anything interesting yet? We have not found anything interesting yet. We're also not making any real money. So, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. We're already making that.
System survey complete.
Barnard Star has been surveyed. A little bit and we'll get... Yeah, that'll do. So you build a mining station here. As for you, Where are you going? You're going there, right? You can start surveying this system. And this system. This system. And this system. Right. So that's the start of our fledgling little empire. Now, if nothing interesting happens, you'll see me when something interesting does happen. Right. Not only have we just finished building our first extra robot, we've also found alien life on Thalasus 4. It's not intelligent, but that means there might be other intelligent life out there, and they might discover the IBM PC, so we need to be on our toes. We will be ready for them indeed. Other than that, nothing much is happening because the first bits of Stellaris are, well, a tad slow. As such, I'll come right back to you if something new and interesting happens again. Ooh, and something does happen. Oh, well, nothing much. Our citizens have reacted. And, yeah, they will be found. They will be exterminated. So much for organic life. That's who we are. Well, apparently anyway. I'm currently saving up for the uplink node here.
Construction complete.
Which will be a very useful thing to have. And then we, yeah. We'll see. Building the uplink node, which will give us extra unity, and that's very useful. As you see, we haven't actually managed to explore all that far. So again, if something interesting happens, I'll get back to you.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
We have found an anomalous survey result. Yes. Let's see. Glowing webs of an unknown origin periodically illuminate the surface of Astinda 3. You know what? We're gonna research that. It's gonna take half a year, but that's fine. It'll help our scientists level up. But not only that, we've got our first tradition. Now, traditions are a way to get your empire much more powerful. And we're going to have to select one. So let's take a peek what the options are. We can have discovery. Discovery makes our science ships better. And eventually gives us the ability to research better as well. It's good when taken early on. You've got synchronicity. Synchronicity, which is more about improving how your empire works in leaders and population. So, longer lasting leaders, etc. Prosperity is all about getting more energy credits or spending less energy credits. It's good to have as well, obviously. Versatility is about diplomacy and a little bit of machine modification and leader caps, but mostly that. Purity is about getting, pure, I suppose. I never really got this particular name, but it's about getting better leaders and lower upkeep. I know that in the in games where you're not playing as one of the robots, this is the branch that helps you deal with organics in another way than purging them. So like vassals and the like. You got supremacy, which is all about warfare. We could take that, but there's no one to fight yet, so that would be a bit of a downer. And we can take expansion, which increases our speed of, expanding, strangely enough. And I'm torn at the moment between 3 options. I'll go over them. Synchronicity would help us build our robots faster, and we already have 2 perks to build our robots faster, so they would be built very quickly indeed, which is nice. Plus you get more influence if you do the whole 3, which is also very nice. Discovery will get our science up faster and will help us find more stuff in the galaxy. And expansion which helps us expand quicker. Now, these two are both best done at the beginning of the game. This is usually done later. So I'm going to say for now, let's leave synchronicity for the second or third tree we focus on. So now we're either going to go for discovery, which is going to help our research. What will be the first two things we can get? Faster survey speed, survivable science ships, extra research options. Now that's actually pretty good. Expansion, that will get us faster colonies, and the first two will give us extra unity and lower Starfleet influence cost. We're gonna go with expansion. Yeah. It'll help us because we've also found this here habitable world. It's not the greatest, but it does give us extra energy and physics. It's not that habitable, but we don't care, we're robots. So that bit is actually quite good. It's a bit on the small side, but it has lots of tiles with improvements, so that's good. Let's continue on and see what we can find. Our ship should be almost done with the surveying of this world. Yeah. It's doing its last little world here now. Will it find anything interesting, or is it just gonna go on to the next system? And the answer is... Come on.
System survey complete.
There are some minerals there. So this is not actually a half bad system. We definitely want to colonize this world soon. That said, we're going to have to take two systems anyway, and this system is terrible. So I really want to have this system surveyed first. Maybe it's better. That would help us out quite a bit. I've updated the path of our science ships as well, so that you can see which things were going to be surveyed in what order.
Executing evasion protocols.
Well, that is not good now, is it? A hostile fleet? Aliens capable of advanced space flight? Oh dear. Oh dear. Now, we can confirm that the Commodore CPC-64 ZXs are not the only empire in the galaxy capable of stellar exploration. Let's see what we found here. These...
Planetary alert. Tile blocker expunged.
I think they're crystals. So they're pretty tough. That makes life a lot easier, by the way, in our determination of what we're going to do. We're going to build a starbase here. And then here. Meanwhile, you are nearly done with the investigation of that research thing. So we're going to look at what that does too before we... Well, we'll move things into fast forward a bit again. Ooh, the science officer reports that Astinda 3 is covered with covered pole to pole in a web-like network of electric impulses. Networks respond to external stimuli. The CAS scholar experimented with sending a low-voltage pulse onto the surface, resulting in a wave of illumination that rippled through the network like a circuit board. Even more remarkable, the webs rearranged themselves. A secondary pulse revealed the filaments had organized in into a new pattern centered around where the previous pulse had contacted the surface of Astinda 3. Unit D1 concludes that the discovery has confirmed a long-held theory that life can exist almost purely as electrical impulses, independent of cellular or viral structure. Well, we knew that because we are alive and we are robots. Technically repurposed C-64s, CPC-64s, and 128s, etc. But who's counting? Ooh, that gives that planet some nice bonuses, and it has upgraded my unit. So that's good. This is a very nice system. Yeah. A very nice system indeed. So yeah. I'll be back if something interesting happens.
Anomalous
and here on
surface
Sirius, we
detected.
found another interesting thing. Let's look at this. The ship's sensors are picking up an unexplained pattern of interference in the Sirius system. We're going to research that. Meanwhile, we're also saving up for a colony ship. We're nearly there, and we need that because we have expanded our empire into Stellaris, which might get a rename, but Stellaris, yes, that's the one. Might need a rename, but we're gonna colonize this world first. On the other side of our empire, or not really in our empire anymore, we are also exploring Sirius, which has a size 21 world. That might be really good news. And we over here are looking at Alpha Centauri, which is a trinary system, which is new in this patch. I like this. I like how this looks. That has a size 14 world. Ooh, we found something. The Cascolar crew has succeeded in isolating a signal embedded within the unusual pattern of interference in the Sirius system. The signal is a song, a complex sonification of an advanced mathematical equation, to be precise, and one that Science Officer Unit D1 cannot seem to get out of their head. Who or what may have composed this song remains unknown, though its complexity infers an incredible level of technological sophistication regarding subspace harmonics. The signal's geodesics suggest a point of origin from outside of our galaxy, which, to me, as leader of the Commodore CPC 64/ZXs, means that we will need to conquer other galaxies as well once we're done here, because those might be organics, and organics can build IBM PCs, and we can't have that. But we got some society and physics research there, and that's nice. And we raised the level on one of our scientists. That's nice. It's very nice. Ooh, our other scientist, one of our other scientists has also leveled up the person leading physics research, which is also quite good. Meanwhile, we finally have enough money to build the colony ship, so let's do that, because we shouldn't be waiting much for that. Colony ships are very expensive, and before you get the traditions, it takes very long for them to do anything. But it looks like our initial empire will be...
Anomalous
we're interrupted by this anomaly here. A small rectangular object on the surface of this planet is deflecting all scanning beams like a mirror. Our sensors are unable to determine its material composition. Let's research it. So I'm thinking of our first empire, or initial empire, to be from here to here, and everything between that. These, well, might be too here to have natural choke points. But more things are happening. We've got research and we've got a tradition, both of which are very good news. So extra army damage, that's very nice, but also extra minerals, which is even more nice. Though looking at our energy income, we might need to do something about that. The next thing to do, let's get ourselves some armor. Yeah, the rest here is looking good. Now, what do we choose? Capital building, producing an additional bit of influence of Unity. Yeah, that's all. Unity picks are almost always the better choice, because frankly, it's gonna take a very long time to get each of these traditions, and the quicker we can do it, the better. Meanwhile, we will expand our empire once again into this lovely system over here, Astinda, with its 7 energy, 8 minerals, 1 physics research, and 2 society research. So Barnard Star might have been a bit of a dud, but Astinda and Stellaris are not. They're actually pretty good. Yeah. It might be worthwhile to... actually colonize this this first, but it will take a while yet. It's not surveyed yet. How long is that going to take, the surveying? You're still busy on the investigation. It'll take a little while yet. That's a That's good, I suppose. It'll especially take a little while if I don't have time running. So, time is running again, and let's see if something else that's interesting happens soon. And look here, while scanning Series 1, we have found this alien mural. It's discovered appears an artificially carved slab of rock covered in alien writing. They have not detected any other signs of alien activity on the planet, and exactly how this mural came to be here is a mystery. We've prepared a special project to translate the text. Well, that would be interesting. So let's look at our situation log. Translate the alien mural. And we're gonna do that. Let's see. How do you do that? Research project was a way to make it do it immediately. Oh dear. I might have done something bad here. Yeah, it's lost its cue. Oh well. Speaking of things that are bad, we have got a tiny fleet right now. And although I don't really enjoy the low-level designs that are there, I am going to recruit an admiral. So we've got a trickster, we've got a cautious person, and someone with... we can't even recruit them because we are out of money.
Construction complete.
Money is becoming a real issue now. That's not good. What did we complete? Population construction has been completed. What we need is even more population and a power plant. And we're actually going to swap these around so we got slightly more power going on here. As you see, Earth is growing nicely. Lots of our fellow computers out there. Stuff is being constructed like mad. Oh dear. We need to make choices fast. Specifically, we need lots and lots of energy. So you get to, oh dear, enter the orbit of Barnard's star. This is terrible news. You go and, come on. I know it's not the biggest planet. Send this one. It doesn't really matter. Oh.
Special project complete.
We have partially translated the alien mural. It is a memorial for an extinct alien race that once maintained a small interstellar empire in this region of the galaxy. They were apparently exterminated by the creators of the mural, a fact they seem to regret. It's 300 million years old. Most interesting of all was the material that the mural was made of. Despite its age, it's in remarkably good condition. Well, that fits right with us, because we are 8-bit computers and they last very, very long. And we got some engineering research out of that. Now, I'm gonna put it here. Am I gonna put it here? It doesn't really matter as much with the robots, you see. Well, place it here anyway. Telassus Prime. Well, that's okay for now. If I want to rename it, we'll do that later. And before you move away, by the way, hold it. Hold it. You get to build this mining station first. Because we need that mining station very quickly. In a few months we'll run out of power, which is not a good thing. So you survey the system, and let's survey on. Come on, survey, and survey, and survey. So that's all of that. Ah, right. Right. So if we look at the map here, I was wrong about how we're organized. If we want to block off our empire, we basically can block it here,
construction
and
complete.
Here, and that will be enough.
Construction complete.
That's good news. We have a service queue that's now complete, which is that power plant, which is good news. And we also made our power plant here. Like I said, we are going to struggle to get energy in quickly. Oh, we're going to leave that one be. That's taking far too long. But we can build this mining station for more power. It's all in the robots. They cost energy to maintain. I'm not even sure how much energy they cost to maintain because we didn't take any perks for that. Let's see. Upkeep of almost 1 energy per robot. It's a lot. That's actually quite a lot. We also completed the survey of a system in Sirius. Well, that's actually pretty good. And over here we are
technological acquisition successful.
Surveying Procyon. Let's see the spare parts depot, which is nice, which I picked that first because that too will help us grow. I want to put some effort in that because these are very fast growing. Monthly Unity +2. Oh, we're going to pick that immediately. That's good. So yeah, we are a fast growing, or fast building, I should say, robot species. So getting the spare parts depot, which will help us build robots faster, is not a bad idea. Let's see what we got here. Nothing interesting is going on right now. Let's keep the game moving on. We're still building the next machine here.
Planetary settlement
we
procedure
are
initiated.
Finally making our first colony. Our first Commodore CPC 64/ZX colony, which is a great day for the Commodore Amstrad Sinclair business machines. And it is. Yeah. And it is. So, how long will it take for us to be done there? It will take us 40 months. That's long. What's our status here? Yeah, we don't have anything that... This is, by the way, a very good one as well. So there's lots of good stuff around here.
Complete.
CAS compiler completed the construction of a mining station in orbit of... So we're back into positivity. And, oh, everything is happening at once. Right, what we got here? We have recovered artifacts from an ancient civilization on Yabath 1. If what we've learned from these artifacts is correct, this civilization was some sort of confederation that consisted of many different alien races. They called themselves the First League and appear to have coexisted in relative peace some 2 million years ago. Though the Yabath system lies in a region of space that seems to have made up the core of that territory. A partial map found among the artifacts indicates that this First League may have covered a significant portion of our galaxy before its eventual collapse. No, that's because they didn't have computers that lasted forever. We have got the First League event chain. And we've got more stuff. Sensors pick up rhythmic movement on the hellish surface of Procyon 1. Oh, research that. This is all good news. We want as many of that stuff as possible. Now, we need 180 credits, which we've got to do more here. We want extra power because we need it for a whole bunch of stuff.
Complete.
Playing with machines, you're often struggling with that. Look, we're paying 10 energy for our population, and our total production. Ooh, this is getting even more interesting. But first, our total production is only 40. So that's a quarter of all our energy. No, wait, it's 45. That's still roughly a quarter to a fifth. No, yeah, it's more like a fifth. Well, something along the lines of a fifth of all our income, energy-wise, is being paid to just keep our population alive. That's a lot. So you might not need to juggle food, but you need so much more energy than other nations. And we found the beta aliens, which should be interesting. Now let's look at our log. We are going to research these beta aliens and we're gonna take a peek. What are they? Ooh. Now that looks interesting. To me, that looks like an alien life form. Yep, it is. They haven't attacked us, so that's good. So on with potentially less interesting things. So, we'll see if something new interesting happens soon. And we discovered what was on the planet in Procyon. The measured pounding observed from orbit is the motion of immense and ancient geothermal extractors. Ooh, that's interesting. Breathing their last. Built and then abandoned at some point in the distant past, the vast batteries of disintegrating machinery have been pumping up superheated fluid from the planet's core ever since. Their storage capacitors are all broken or leaking, but some energy can still be siphoned from them, which is excellent. That gives us 500 energy credits. Well, close enough anyway. Which is, that actually is good news, because we were running low on them. And that allows me to now say, okay, go to Earth and start clearing these remainders.
Technological acquisition successful.
We want to grow our population quickly. We have gained some new technology, the capacity overload. Ooh. I so would want to click on this. But we're going to click on this because we want the advanced, the extra research speed first, obviously. Yeah. Always take things that improve research or growth as early as you can. This is a game that you can... I probably shouldn't be calling myself an expert, given that I normally play on the normal difficulty level. But this is a game which I feel you should be able to win mostly by virtue of having the best economy in the environment, in the game. So you want your economy to be as high-powered as possible. Building another starbase here. So we want a starbase here to get Alpha Centauri in the fold. In case you haven't been playing Stellaris either at all or since the 2.0 update, yeah, these starbases are what allows you to get things into your territory. I've already used them, so perhaps it isn't that surprising. But basically, every starbase that you build adds that
special project
system to your empire, and our empire is still fairly small, as you can see here. And this is also how you take over enemy systems. You disable their starbase and take out any planets they might have, or rather take out the defenders of any planets they have. That will allow you to take them over during a war. Or at least occupy them initially. Now, let's see. We found a Tiyanki. I knew that, but maybe you didn't. The spaceborne life forms, which we call the Tiyanki, are docile creatures capable of accessing some lower dimension of subspace. They roam from system to system with remarkable ease. They graze on gases common to the upper layers of many gas giants. It is highly unlikely, to say the least, that this is their only food source, but intake of other nutrients has yet to be observed. They will not attack unless provoked. They can be safely ignored. Hunting them would be a net loss anyway. Well, yes, of course. Of course that would be a net loss, because we don't need food. But still, we think these are not worthy of our attention, yet these three critters are together 5 times as strong, roughly, as our... well, 4 really. 4 times as strong as our 3 little ships. Which should tell us something about the state of our defense network. It's not present. That's what it tells us. And we're going to do something about that soonish. We found something interesting. During its survey of Nifra 4, the CAS scholar discovered a previously unknown strategic resource dubbed Teldar crystals. These extremely durable crystals should theoretically enhance the armor-piercing capabilities and destructive potential of our projectile weapons. Oh, well, that's nice. While we do not yet possess the means to extract this resource, we should seriously establish Consider establishing control over the system for future exploitation. Well, of course, we want every system. I mean, why would we want less? It's obvious that we want every system. And Barnard's star has that
Construction complete.
So now we've got even more power. We're still very low on it, though. Not too happy about that. So build another power station, and then we're going to get some more minerals. Let's see how far Sol in its building of these things. We can build more population units. Well, we could if we had the energy. So I'm going to put you back onto hold. You will be seeing me again now because we've got a tradition. I was going to say I was going to fast forward there, but no. A tradition, enough unity has been found. So we can either have less increase in tradition cost for number of colonies, which is extremely useful. Automated colonization units, now that is the killer application here. It's one of the better picks. You get 2 instead of 1 population units on your on your new colonies, and that's pretty massive. Starbase influence cost reduced by 10. What do we get for finishing it? More core systems. Well, we're gonna go for the extra population. We should go for this one next, I think. Yeah, unless this one is really good. No, these 3 are the better options. So in 48 months we should be able to get that. Now I don't know if picking this before the colony is done means we now get 2 people on the colony. Or 2 Commodore Amstrad Sinclairs. But we'll see if that happens. So let's keep going. And we found life signs coming from inside the atmosphere of this gas giant. Well, let's research them. I wonder why we're so interested in life forms, by the way. We're robots who want to kill them all because they might evolve into something that would create the dreaded IBM PC, which we do not like. I mean, come on, that thing had like CGA graphics. Who wants that? So
Construction complete.
Everything is nicely happening at the moment. How far are you? You're 34%. You know what? If this is only 1 or 2, no, it's actually 3. That's less interesting. Let's have you build. You can do that. All right. Continue onwards. Build another starbase. Reclaiming these systems for our empire as quickly as we can. And the atmospheric ecosystem. We have discovered a thriving ecosystem in the upper atmosphere of the gas giant Nifra 2. Massive floating creatures having evolved bodies filled with lighter than air gases. Follow the wind currents and feed of the energy released by the gas giant's frequent lightning storms. These beings in turn support colonies of smaller animals that prey on atmospheric plankton and each other. Fascinating is the right word. Indeed, and it makes Nifra 2 better, which is always nice.
System survey complete. Planetary alert. Tile blocker expunged.
That's on Sol. I thought for a second there that the colonization was done, but it isn't. We're done with that. So now we can start building up the remainder of our population, which is well, we're gonna build 1. Yeah, and we need an energy grid as well at one point or another. I'll leave that be. It's taking too long. It's taking 500. It's no more than a year. That's not good. This planet is a bit on the small side for what I want to do here. You see, I want to have the research stations here, obviously, but I also want to have at least a spare parts depot on this planet as well. And a stronghold, ideally. And there's some stuff in the future as well. So this is not... gotta think about that. It probably won't be a problem in the end. Initially, it's very important. But don't think it's going to be the biggest issue. I will be building an energy grid here once I get the money. And I nearly have that. Is there anything else I need to be doing right now? No, this seems alright. Well, there are some things I need to be doing, but I don't have the money for it. And partly because of my choices, obviously. Let's see. Energy grid. Right, we're building that. Let's see what happens. I'll be back with you if something new and interesting shows up. And looky here, we have detected the presence of a pre-space civilization on Bloom in the Dorillion system. They're in an early industrial age with electricity and internal combustion engines gradually coming into widespread use. We should consider building an observation post above their world to study them more closely. I think you're misunderstanding how this will end up working in the game. We're not going to observe anything. We're going to use this world. That's what we're going to be doing. Yeah, so for that we need to, because those are organics and they might evolve into building that IBM PC. Heaven forbid they might actually, oh dear, what if they discover the EGA graphics card? That would be even worse. Anyway, sublight exploration probes. Before we developed faster than light travel, several sublight exploration probes were dispatched from Earth at near relativistic speeds towards nearby systems. Scientists who developed the probes naively included sensitive information about our culture in their memory cores as a form of greeting to alien civilizations. It has now been realized that this data could potentially be used against us. We need to track down these probes before they're found by something, or someone, unsympathetic to our species. Does that mean that we now have... Wait, let's wait for a second here. What does this say? Track all the map. Let's see on the map where they are. And research this weak signal. Now where are they? Well, that's actually pretty far away from us, so it'll be a while before we've got all of them. We'll see. I'm not in the greatest rush. If they were truly sent out by us, by scientists, that long ago,
Construction
can't really
complete.
be any real trouble. Now you go over here. Expansion costs a lot of influence as well, doesn't it? We're still okay for now, but... Well, we're nearly done with 4 months, then we'll have our colony. And we found another anomaly. Massive storms are visible in the upper atmosphere of the gas giant. Might be worth the effort to study them in more detail. Of course it is worth the effort. Right now we want all the anomalies discovered and researched. Is that over here? Ancient survey marker. A small short-range transmitter has been located on the surface of ONAP 2A. Appears to be an ancient survey marker placed here eons ago to mark a large deposit of precious metals. Yeah, the miners it was meant for evidently never arrived, as the deposit is still here, which is good news for us. Right. You are surveying, you are investigating. Good. As soon as we got this done, we're going to build a starbase here as well. Yeah, Sirius will be one, there's so many things we still need to do. It's the starting up of Stellaris often... we made our colony and we established it. That's good news. So, yeah, we're just complete with Starbase, and on the surface we've got 2, so that's good news. I was not sure if I would get 2, but we are getting 2, so that's good. And we will build a power plant here. Yep. And a mining network here once we get the money, which will be in 3 days, I think. Yes. So that's good for now. What we need relatively shortly, because you can't defend a system like this, an empire like this with 3 ships, is more ships. We're going to be having to build those soon. Yeah, that's going to be required. The Relian 9 frequently experiences massive and extremely violent storm systems in the atmosphere. Several dozen persistent storms are visible from orbit, with winds often reaching speeds in excess of 700 meters per second. That's pretty nasty. The cause of these storms is not immediately apparent, as we have found nothing in the planet's climate model that would explain them. Our scientists are interested in studying this anomaly, which gives us physics research on the Relian 9, which is good news. So we've got some pretty nice systems here. Barnard Star is pretty much the only one that really disappointed me, so to speak. Yeah, and you're building that. Yeah, thought you were a science ship there for a bit. Well, what were we gonna do? There's two things we're gonna do, and they are both about warfare. So let's look at our military power. So right now we've
Construction complete.
been constructed on Earth. We'll look at Earth in a sec. Right now our starbase here is a very basic one. Can't upgrade it yet much. We could buy an additional module, but I don't really need them yet. Though this would be nice. But let's first look at the shipyard. So our corvettes cost 123. And we've got 27 fleet capacity.
Complete.
Each corvette takes
System survey
1.
complete.
So we can build 17. No, sorry. 17. We can build 24 additional ships. We can fit 17 into our current fleet. We don't have the money for that, obviously, but I do feel that we should start getting a few extra ships sooner rather than later, because I'm afraid the pirates will start spawning in. So we're going to build 1 or 2 of these. The other thing that we really want is some armies, which we can't afford either. So I'll get back to you once we've got a bit more money. Or when we find ourselves an anomaly, and the Detonal system, which is over here. Detonal pulses steadily. Its seismology, yes, indicating an internal composition far denser than expected. What could be responsible for this surprising density? See, I was talking about this stuff, and look, it's happening. A small group of malfunctioning units have separated themselves from the main intelligence of the Commodore, Amstrad, Sinclair business machines and sought refuge in the Relian system on the periphery of our space. These units have become irredeemably corrupted, and they now use crewed spacecraft to raid our space for spare parts and resources. They must be dealt with. So I was right. Space piracy was about to be born, and I built 1 extra ship. Now, like I said, what could be responsible for this surprising density? We're gonna find out. Now, the Relian is over here. I don't like it. We only have 160 fleet power. So, let's quickly look at the ship designer. Maybe we can make a better ship than what we've got right now. So, that's a no. And that's a no. And that's a no. No. Okay, so we can't. Well, that makes things easy. We're just gonna have to build a few more of them, because 160 fleet strength is not gonna cut it. Okay. So, as it is, we don't have any visibility on the pirates, but we know they're there. They're over here somewhere. And we're building up a small fleet to try and take care of them. And we will see how that goes, as well as the expansion of the rest of our current territory, and perhaps some more other stuff, like, I don't know, colonizing a few more planets. next time,
Construction
ladies
complete.
and gentlemen. So, if you enjoyed watching this, oh dear,
Alert. Hostile
let's
fleet
wait with the
assets
with the watching it. Pirates from the corrupted units, 180, but they came to Seoul. Now that is great news for us because we've got a stronger fleet, which doesn't actually have an admiral yet, which I wanted to fix but didn't get. I like gale speed, so yeah, you can be over there. That immediately will bump up our fleet strength. Or should no, it doesn't really.
Alert. Station engaged.
But if they start attacking, they're starting to attack that. Oh no. Come on, attack them. There's more happening yet. I was about to end the episode here. The strong magnetic field around Thales' Prime has always caused some problems with electronic instruments on the surface, but recently the effects on our computers, has been especially notable. So far it's unknown what has caused this flare-up, although we suspect it to be temporary. What? Minus 5% happiness? Oh dear. Luckily robots don't do happiness. But the minus physics, society and engineering output would have been a problem. Except of course we don't have any researchers there yet. But it's still unfortunate. Let's see if we can't take care of these. I always found out an interesting bug that all these icons drag along with the fleet. Now, yet more's happening. Wow. Okay, everything is happening at the same time, which is really interesting. And our fleet gets stronger all of a sudden. I suspect that's the Admiral kicking in, or an additional unit arriving. Okay, while on the surface Detenol appears to be an ordinary white dwarf, the star hides an intriguing secret. By studying Detenol's pulsations, the CAS Examiner crew has discovered its composition to be almost entirely crystallized carbon. This astronomical crystal lattice seems to have formed as the star cooled, originating in its gas-fusing core and growing outward over time. The Detenol is a diamond of cosmological proportions, glinting behind a white veil of oxygen and helium. Now that is indeed fascinating, and gives us yet more physics research. Yeah, let's see if we can't. Even more is happening. Wow. Okay. A sensor sweep from the CAS Scholar has revealed one of our sublight probes in the Algol system. Algol, that's nice. Computer language. Rather old one, but still. But it seems to have been altered somehow. Modifications of an alien origin have been attached to its hull, and the probe's energy signature is far greater than it should be. We're receiving a transmission from it. On screen. Are you the makers? Yep, we are. Then you shall die.
Situation
Oh,
log adjusted.
that didn't go so well. Okay. Now we're gonna wait a bit here. Now we've got this fleet here, which is fighting our fleet here, and I'm hoping we'll win that fight. And we've got this ship here, which is a modified probe. This is not good. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted 4 times in a row, let's build us some more. No, let's use the Fleet Manager for this. Fleet Manager is one of the better additions to Stellaris in 2.0. And it gives us the ability to just say, okay, we want this fleet to be reinforced, but we can't. All fleets are full to current capacity. Oh, the size of the fleet is not right. Okay, that's an error on my side. I want the fleet to be as large as it can. All that. Reinforce all. That will build one more ship, which is good, because we're going to lose a few here. Yes. So we're... Let's zoom in on the action a bit here. So these are our corvettes having the fight. Oh, that's too much. And I think, yes. That ship is not looking any good, and we destroyed it. We won. All our ships survived. That's great news. Now then, you go back and repair yourself. As I was saying, before all the things happened at the same time, it's time for us to say goodbye. I will be back next time with part 2 of this series, in which we will have more retro-themed adventures in Stellaris. So, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like or a comment, and I hope to see you then. So, bye-bye.